Well, it's official. Kathleen Kennedy left Lucasfilm earlier this year, and it did not take long. Disneyland is swiftly scrubbing the sequel trilogy from Galaxy's Edge just before the Mando movie opens, and now it's only a matter of time until the same thing happens at Walt Disney World. Goodbye, Rey. Goodbye, Rose Tico. Hello, Luke, Leia, Han, and even John Williams, that is. Folks, it's a great day. It's a groovy day. Thank you for coming our way. What a pleasure. What an honor to be invited into your time. We consider it truly a gift to us, and we plan to follow through, folks, with a video of excellence. Click that like button, and here we go out of that Park Place. Good news, everyone. This by me, Disneyland Scrubs Star Wars sequel trilogy from Galaxy's Edge, and fans are loving it. Who could have thought? Who could have foreseen this? Oh, you did. That's right, you. Absolutely. You knew this would happen. I knew this would happen. Everybody knew this would happen. And now the question is, was Kathleen Kennedy really, was she really the big barrier that would not allow the celebration of George Lucas's original trilogy in the parks and in the merchandise and all of that? And is that now being swept out of the way? Whatever Dave Filoni wants to say, I'm telling you, Wall Street has made a decision. The Wall Street fat cats at Disney who run the company now, not Josh D'Amaro, not Dana Walden, not Dave Filoni. I'm sorry, it's James P. Gorman and Hugh Johnson. If you've not heard of them, they're the Wall Street guys in charge. There's a decision being made, and they're going back to the cash cow that is Star Wars. It says the first promo videos and photos did not go well for the Walt Disney Company. Replacing the Star Wars sequel trilogy with Luke, Leia, Han, and Darth Vader should have been a decade overdue grand slam. But the costumes did not look good. The casting was questionable, and fans were fed up with yet another big whiff from a company that has not handled George Lucas's baby very well. You can see there, this is what we were gifted. Folks, I can't play the promo video they did for America's Got Talent or American Idol, or whatever it was. It was American Idol. It was so bad, and fans were up in arms. Like Sonic the Hedgehog before them, though, somebody at Disney, and this is a change for the company, somebody said, we're not going to enrage the fans. We're going to fix this. And the feedback has been listened to and changes were made. Take a look at this and watch the fans and their pleasure at Han Solo being switched over to Empire Strikes Back costume, better wig. They recast Leia. They put her in a different costume. This is amazing. Disney never listens until now.
Han, I got a question for you. So, I know you've traveled the galaxies. You've seen many creatures among the stars. Has anybody ever scared you just by the way they look?
Just by the way, say that again?
Just by the way they look. Have they ever scared you just by the way they look?
Jabba, every time.
Every time?
Absolutely. It's hard to look at.
Yeah? Do you ever get nightmares from the scary things you've seen in space?
No.
No? You're too tough for that?
Nothing too overbearing. Come on. Get used to it after a while.
I mean, you bump with
travel.
Chewie,
I was going to say, you travel around with the Wookiee.
Yeah.
You're used to things like that. Nothing too much, though. But Jabba.
Yeah. That's definitely scary.
Don't even get me started.
Not bad. Not bad. But it went beyond that. Talking about the young actress who played Leia. Let's go back up again. And it's not her fault, okay? Let me just show you this, okay? The actress who played Leia, they put out there for the promos, she doesn't look like Leia. She can't help that. I can't help that. I don't look like Leia. You don't look like Leia either, I bet, right? You don't look like Carrie Fisher. She doesn't look like Carrie Fisher. And the makeup to try to compensate was terrible. Check it out. They recast.
No, so one time she needed a transport, and I was moving some cargo at the same time. She got mad things were in the way.
Yeah, he's still pretty scruffy looking, but he's a smooth talker, isn't he?
Oh, you give me credit.
She's not the best, okay? She's not the best, but she's a lot better. She's a lot better, and she does look much more. Now, I can't tell. Is it the same person? Did they just redo the makeup and the costume and the hair and literally everything? I don't know. But my gosh, is it better? Laughingplace.com had that one, has the picture over there. And I want to apologize too, because, I don't know who's got these videos. I don't see who has the videos, folks. You can go click on these. Five Fires has that one. And the first one, it doesn't have it. Okay. But you can go click on this on the article and find out who it is. And we do apologize. We like to give out the credit for people doing this. We can't play it in its entirety. Can't play it. They'll hit us with the copyright. I think this is what turned Disney around. Okay. This was the American Idol promo they did, where they had the American Idol peeps dressed like Star Wars. And then they meet The original cast and costumes. There's Luke. Oh boy. There's what Leia was going to look like. Whoa. Listen, it's not her fault. It's not her fault. Now, here's what you need to know, okay? And again, we're going to go to Laughing Place. They've got this video. And boy, I hope that they let us get away with this one. There's going to be music here. They have gone to great extent to bring the original trilogy to Galaxy's Edge. And I'm sorry, I just don't believe for one moment that this is going to be for a temporary thing. There's too much money being spent. I'll get into the money and where it's going. I believe that Disney is going to scrub the sequel trilogy, except for Rise of the Resistance for now, which is their big ride. But everything else, sequel trilogy, is out. And I believe that's an accountant decision. I believe that's a Wall Street decision. This sequel trilogy is unsalvageable. And if they decide that for the parks, which are the biggest profit generator for Disney by far, how much longer until somebody at Wall Street says to Dave Filoni, we're done with this? Like, is it going to take Ahsoka season 2, right? For them to say, no, we're moving on, buddy. You can move on or not, but we're moving on, and we're in charge now. Here's Darth Vader and the Imperial Stormtroopers arriving at Galaxy's Edge for the very first time. And you know this was a sold-out event. Sold out at Disneyland. So many people wanted this. I'll go into the details of just how far they're going and what's coming to the Magic Kingdom. Well, not Magic Kingdom. Hollywood Studios at Disney World in just a moment. We'll skip ahead.
Used to looking at it until he gets what he came for.
I'm sorry, isn't that Kylo Ren's ship? It was Kylo Ren's ship. It's not anymore. It's Darth's.
Gets who he came for. Right. How hard can it be to find him? You want to ask? These travelers. What do any of them know about it? That's what he wants to find out. Travelers, Lord Vader will demand your attention. You will maintain order. The spaceport crew will direct him. Are we clear? Ready? No.
I have come for an enemy of the Empire. I sense his presence. Establish an interrogation zone. Luke Skywalker is here.
Now, it sounds to me like they're using the AI version of James Earl Jones, which he signed off on before his passing. And it generates wealth for his estate, so, for his kids, his grandkids, etc. But it sounds like that's what they're doing. This is phenomenal. You decide what you think about the AI. Set that aside for a moment. This is what people wanted. This is what people have been saying they want. And the failed experiment of the sequel trilogy, I believe, now is coming to an end. I don't know if they're going to retcon it. I don't know if they're just going to put it away quietly. But it's done. It makes no money. It hurts them. And Wall Street has had enough. Now, to what extent are they doing this? And you folks, you've been waiting a long time for this win. You may not be ready to forgive Disney. You may never forgive Disney for what they did for 10, 12, 15 years to Star Wars. But just know they're not going to say, we're sorry. They're not going to give a mea culpa. They're just going to scrub the sequel trilogy as fast as they can. And don't for a minute miss out on the fact that they're doing this just before the Mandalorian and Grogu movie comes out. They know. Why is it that Jon Favreau won't mention the sequel trilogy, but he talks about the OG every single interview he gives? You already know. Devin Coggin has this on StarWars.com. Endor props and other new updates to see inside Star Wars Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland. The headline, just put it aside for a minute, okay? Here's what's really going on. It says, Star Wars Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland has always been a treasure trove for eagle-eyed Star Wars fans. Seemingly every corner of Batuu is packed with hidden details waiting to be discovered, from scorched blaster marks on the walls of Oga's Cantina to rare objects tucked in the rafters of Doc Ondar's Den of Antiquities. But now, visitors to Batuu will have even more to explore beginning April 29th. Galaxy's Edge is expanding its timeline to introduce elements from the original Star Wars film trilogy. And by that, we mean it's going to be about the original Star Wars film trilogy with a Mando ride. And it's tucked over to the side. Hey, we still got the sequel trilogy. How long until that's Luke? You know that they got to do it. A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi. As a result, there are a number of exciting new updates coming to Black Spire Outpost, including hidden Easter eggs, transformed shops, and even a John Williams soundtrack. Now, if we go down we go, you can see that it says some of the biggest changes are coming to the shop, formerly known as First Order Cargo, reimagined, so completely changing it, under the new name Black Spire Surplus. Every shop and proprietor of Galaxy's Edge has a rich backstory, and this new military supply shop is no exception. And basically it says, this person who worked on it says, it's really fun to look at before and after photos. We've gone from the very orderly, clean sterility of the First Order, aka it all looked new, to something that feels really weathered and lived in. Yeah, it's called Star Wars. We had a lot of fun talking about tangled cable swags and how we can introduce chipped paint to the crates that adorn the shop. They're making everything look old again because that's what people wanted. They wanted Star Wars, and that's what Star Wars looks like, and that's what they're doing. Now, they've got the Andor stuff in there, and why? A little bit of Andor. Why? Because they have to try to save the Disney Plus stuff for a little bit. But basically, we're switching over, and you can see this in the pictures. You can see this with R2's back. R2's back again, and one of the biggest deals, one of the biggest changes coming to Galaxy's Edge won't be visual but audible. It says that John Williams' iconic film score, and visitors will be able to hear excerpts of familiar music as they wander through Batuu. It's going to feel like Star Wars. The question is, did Kathleen Kennedy really have this kind of control where she stopped Star Wars Land from being Star Wars Land? Seriously, Disney, did you allow her? Bob Iger, did you get bullied around by KK to the point you would not let them put in what is clearly a moneymaker, the original trilogy? And by the way, the prequels too. The sequels will never be like that. The sequels will have to be let go. How do we know, folks, this is coming to Disney World? How do we know that this is going to stay at Disneyland? Because they built an entire hotel surrounding the sequel trilogy, and it failed in a year. And here we are showing off the original characters with the original music, with all of the effects and all of the hoopla and the excitement surrounding it. And people are filling the parks to capacity to get there. When they opened Galaxy's Edge originally, did you know? They had this thing called Project Stardust where they expanded the areas inside Disneyland to handle how many people they thought would be there. They opened the doors to Galaxy's Edge originally based on The Last Jedi, and attendance went down. They bring out the original trilogy characters, they bring back the music, they rewrite the background for this entire land, and what happens? Filled to capacity. And it's not just the characters that people want. Do not be confused, and I know you're not, but for those drive-by journalists out there writing tomorrow's headlines, trying to figure out what this is all about and why it is we were right for a decade, you were right about Star Wars for a decade. Don't be fooled. It's not just about the characters. It's about the values. You don't want hobo Luke, who sits around sucking from the teats of aliens with the green milk. No! You want heroic Luke Skywalker who believes in something and who follows through and does the right thing and chooses to take on the sins of his father and bring a rightful future to the galaxy. That's what you want. You want a happy Han and a happy Leia who are finding romance. And that's what you want because you believe in that story arc. You believe in the scoundrel who gets the princess. And you believe in the princess who realizes, yeah, I might need that nerf herder. You all love that stuff, and so does everyone else. You were always in the mainstream, the sensible center, the giant majority, and you were being bullied around by a KK girl who wanted to invert everything to do with Star Wars, not just the characters, but their values, and desecrate and deconstruct the things that George built. And now Disney, tail between legs, is doing just what you asked for. Is it too late? That will be up for the market to decide. All right, folks, that's the video for today. Congratulations. It took forever to get this video done. Not because we had to work on it a long time, not because of post-editing, but because it's a decade overdue. We should have done this video in 2016. We should have done this video in 2017. We should have done this video in 2018. Now, I don't get picky and say, well, Pro, the Galaxy's Edge wasn't around back then. I'm talking about we should have been mentioning how popular Amazing Star Wars is under the control of Disney because they're honoring George Lucas and his vision. 10 years too late. But here we are. And now the video's been made. All right, folks, like, share, subscribe, click it, stick it to the algorithms. It is the notification bell. Drop a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts. And until the next time, with the honor, the privilege, and the responsibility of spending time together, keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.